is the Frontline Show. I'm Kwekwana. Now, we've walked one leg of the journey, remaining one, and it's just marking 2 minutes approximately gone past the hour 9. Tonight, my guest, Executive Director, Global Info Analytics, Musa Dankwa, joins me shortly. Now, yabe exercise. Now, how do you pakunya transfer? Because the urban huchi bibia. Tonight, party Bain I will join in. Now, party no, Max Bain. Positive inroads men are all making in the regions are now global info analytics for a year a juma power regions by my member one show them Ashanti region, Bono region, Ahafo. Afis Umura Ablikma Central, Wager, Bawi, Bono East, Eastern region and Northern region. Now, the Ablikma Central, Wager, Bawi, and the Bono East, Eastern region. And another region, they take an agree, yet the Mura, Ahafo region, Bono, and then region. Now, menene besha see free, Ahafo, Nafi, yet the about Bono near Bura, Ashanti region. Adibia to Ashanti region, a bro madrin so. And I want you to guess. Between NDC and MPP, Adibia si oho, a bro madrin so. But folks, before Obebemano, Adibi Baso. Coming up in the month of October, the Frontline Show would go out front in its latest review of the Japadia document. And we urge listeners and viewers to gauge the space in the coming month. This review, titled Japadia Decide. Right? Frontline, back, the month of October, and afi ye de Japadia book way ebe to ho ni ye be wremu 1 2 na this time ye be go deeper than we did previous na mu be hu pa intimacy from now on see the month of October and mfeni agro every day Monday, Wednesday, Friday pacho ma odal and I need to subscribe to a Frontline CTV your link no my CTV GH subscribe send a be ya yeah, shasi ube hundi eko. The ebe PM no papa the Japadia document. And unti title diato sa review we and expose yebe ya tunidin a Japadia decide. Ben SMP folks. Enti Shannon. So of course my WhatsApp message no 02029734610 02029734610 making kind message nama. Now my guest Musa great one. Now, first of all, how is the field work so far? I guess it's been stressful, you know.
Because your
pressure wumpa.
We have a lot of people on the ground. Okay. It doesn't. It's much more seamless a process, but here coordination.
I see.
Constant touch with the base.
Wow. I'm getting a lot of messages, and people are eager to know what's going on in this post, especially Ashanti region. We knew why it's here. But let's first of all let's sail to Ahafo. Now, my main kind was a special poll conducted in Ashanti conducted in Esutifi South, Esunafo South, Tano South, and Tano North in the Ahafo region. 27% of voters believe Ghana is headed in the wrong direction. 21% believe it is headed in the right direction, and 52% did not have an opinion. All this blah 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 and so forth. Give us a sense of understanding of what really happened on the ground.
Ahafo is a bit tough for both MPP and NDC in any aspect. Here parliamentary seats now, and in fact, 2 places already be very close. Asutifi South and Asunafo South. Honorable Collins Dauda and Opoku they be in a dogfight.
Oh, okay.
So
Dauda and Opoku.
Yes,
2 candidates.
They always engage in a fight before they win their seat. So it doesn't surprise me. The surprise will be a Tano South and Tano North. currently the MPP no hold those seats no. Tano North Frida Pempe former seat Gideon Boako akotuna Frekunya so. Inti I say a tussle between NDC candidates no and Gideon Boako, but any easy work.
Boako is coming in, correct? It's a new person coming in.
Yeah, he is from the office of the vice president.
Yeah.
Contesting Tano North.
So, per your pose, does it look like, yes, it's going to make some strikes and all of that? How significant the chances?
Osha Erikopuku race now too close to call. Erikopuku 37%. And MPP Frank Duse Puku also 39%. So when they are time, it's satisfactory time. But you have about 19% say undecided. Their fate hangs in the hands of this almost undecided. So
really?
So it depends on where they will swing to. Almost swing you call Frank Duse here Erikopuku no. But almost swing you call Erikopuku he will carry the day. But from experience no, in opinion poll no. So we are incumbent. Now among for those undecided it's very unlikely to be
Since you give us
say we are incumbent.
Incumbent, okay.
Now among for don't say undecided undecided normally it doesn't favor you.
So undecided it doesn't favor you. But undecided no, likely say they are going for you.
So that is the normal trend for polling. But Oshe Erikopuku any Dauda opposition candidate defend the seat. But naturally no, the wind of there's a wind of change.
That's right.
And that wind of change normally support the opposition candidate.
Okay. Yeah.
It's slightly different in the sense that they are having the wind of change behind them compared to MPP candidate now. He has the wind against him because the party is struggling elsewhere. Great.
So in this one, if you take us into the figures, as it were undecided candidates, how is the figures reading?
Opoku, as I said, 36.6%. And Frank, it do say Poku, 39%. So it does go ahead.
Quite significant.
No, just 2%. 36 or 37 and 39. So
okay,
2%
2% difference.
And at 19% say undecided. So these guys, say if they are kind of change people, they will likely go to vote for Erikopuku. But some feel say one year, then they will go to Frank Eduse. But it is more likely say they will go for Erikopuku because of the wind of change.
In the very position we find,
yes,
the situation on the ground.
Yes.
Great. Now, with regards to your friend saying whether the government is doing well or not doing well and all of that, on your executive summary, you also got some percentages to walk us through.
Normally, or say what's happening in the region, normally depends on what people are saying about how they feel about the country. Here, about 27% say Ghana is headed in the wrong direction. And 21 say right direction.
And this is in Ahafo region?
In Ahafo region, these 4 constituencies.
Okay.
And 52 say they have no opinion. Say Ekuyu, say Nkuyu. So there is something hidden in this Ahafo. And maybe they are not happy, but they don't want to say it openly. So much to say they have no opinion. But Oshe, the approval of the president, say now, there you see a bit of clarity.
Okay.
But 34% say Obono Homodi. And 52 say Omono Homodi.
Yeah.
And then 14% say they have no opinion. So this gives you a bit of hint as whether they are happy or not. So clearly they are not happy.
Other presidents, Ebemu. So, for example, I'm seeing that on the question of who is the best ever head of state, Kwame Nkrumah Edin Ethiopia, 41% John Mahama, and J. Kufuor tied on 34% Nanado, 28% Jerry Rawlings, and then Tamils also tied up 25% Edward Ekufu. And Hillary Mamuna Ebemu. Why the people took this direction way?
No, it was this time when so now you perceive from the ordinary voters. No, they share the same view as Napo, and I said Napo was just.
Okay,
so
sounds good.
It was a bit of to see. Okay, he said it. He could be right. It could be wrong. But in some places, no, we saw say. In fact, he was right in some places because they were putting Kofo ahead of Kwame Nkrumah. So it's not entirely. No, yes, it's not entirely say one story say BBI Kwame Nkrumah. No. So
wow.
in Ahafo, no. The best for them was Kwame Nkrumah, 41%, followed by John Mahama, 34%, then Kufuor, 34%, Nanado, 28%, Rawlings, 25%, and 25% at Tamils, and Akufo-Addo Edward, 6%. Now, you see, we share this number, 34% say John Mahama is the best, beside Nkrumah.
In Ahafo.
It tells you, say, in a critical way, that's how they could vote. It's another way of.
And that's still against. It's a sign of a wind of change blowing, kind of.
There are so many things.
And it go along with the
you
parliamentary.
You can see. Say there is some level of wind blowing.
Musa. Now, so still, what do we have to know? Still in Ahafo, other Nyamamoye or one.
You know, basically, 4 seats and a check you 4 out of 4 seats. No, in fact, there are total of 6 seats over Ahafo. 2 at the end, and Erikopoku air too close to call. It means it can go either way.
I see.
But in Tano North, which is Pius Opoku NDC, it was 75% against Gideon Baku, 22%. So I think, say, if this continues, it's unlikely, say, Gideon Baku could make it.
I see.
What is happening then is, as a Freedom Corps, they are not voting for Gideon Baku.
Why? Did you get answers for?
No, we don't ask why, because look, we know the way race a contested in the NDA. So there's no calm in Tano North. Some people are both say Freedom Prime has lost a seat to Gideon Baku. So it's time to pay back. And near Hong Kong, there are other places are almost 2. In fact, we share areas and man and some seat no. Those who have taken over from the women are struggling in the polls. Yes, seeing places like Akwetia, they are struggling because the woman they ran off against Elusia, and people are not voting for that person. The same thing is applying a bit of that in Domi Kwabena as well.
I see. Great. Now, and so then I can say, so we are done with Ahafo, correct? Or there's something that we still need?
Largely, in terms of...
because on the seat in the penna, politically, and make it, you know, that is very significant to watch.
Yeah, in terms of presidential, I think as no full South, Baumia Elidi Mahama, 53, yes, okay. 42%. And as TV South, Baumia Elidi 58 to 41%.
Oh, that's significant.
But Tano South, Mahama 66%, and Baumia 34%. And at Tano North, Mahama is 74%. And North,
Mahama is
74%. And Baumia 24%. So Mahama LED 2, and Baumia LED 2.
Yeah, can we get the winner post on the screen so that our viewers can also follow Musa whilst he's giving the winner directive? Okay, Musa, go on.
So this is what you can see. So far, the way Ahafo is going, it's going to be very close election this time, yes.
But maybe John Mahama, LED 74, no? That's Tano North.
Tano North, yes.
I see. So, do you see a contest or is it a done deal for John Mahama? And what could be?
In polling, you can't say it's a done deal. We have about 3 months more to go before the election.
Okay.
But he has a very solid lead.
I see.
Polls, and they say, so, at the moment,
anything can change.
He is in a very strong lead. Yes.
I see. What else are we to still know?
Yeah, so Ahafo, broadly, this is what is happening now. So we expect say Ahafo a much closer race than it has ever been.
Sending now so is within that it's a region
Yeah, part of
exactly
Ahafo, Bono, and Bono East.
and all of that. Great. Now, let's focus on Bono now. Now, Bono no Yensha Sim Free baby executive summary was him. A special poll conducted in Peru East, Sena West, Kintampo South, and Techiman South in the Bono East region indicates that 65% of voters believe Ghana is heading in the wrong direction. 17% believe it is headed in the right direction, and 18% did not have an opinion. 49% of voters say their living standard has worsened compared to a year ago. 13% say, Musa, what are we to know much?
You know, the measure is first look at certain.
You are like a diagnostic. You diagnose people's mind.
So almost say, Nkuya or wrong direction is a sign. It's the first warning. 81% of Bono East for say, maybe on minor corner, and then 12% say, be a nominal a year, and 7% say, only opinion. This way a very clear sign say things will not go well for the incumbent government in Bono East. And then when you code themselves, okay, or man penny or homebody and I say on homebody, then 69% say on homebody.
69%,
yes.
Hey, as from power.
And 25 say Obon Homodi, and then 6% say they have no opinion. So these two key questions, it tells you what might happen down the line. And then Oshe Omo say Obasinemo Ayedin compared to a year ago, a year 57%. Ayedin compared to a year before, which means Omobotomunye. The economy has hit them. And our mama say, and society, 29%. Our mama say, I improve, just 10%. And 4% say, only opinion. So, it means the economy is really taking a bite on that region.
So, Ebasa, for example, the 4%, with in your experience, would they finally have an opinion and to decide what to do?
Oh, yes. I mean, the fact say, a new opinion about his living standard doesn't mean say, who is going to vote for. Some will say, oh, he's still undecided. But most of them decide to say, I'm away and ask mercy.
I see. Wow. Now, into Osha, then it means Sa party see Peru East, Sena West, Kintampo, and then I say for politically, which of the parties in office will make the headlines in the assessment of presidential elections and all of that?
I think Kintampo South. Oh no, where is it? Bono East. Okay.
Okay. Yes, Bono East.
We are doing Bono East.
Bono East region. Yeah.
I think I may have gotten the wrong report. Bono East.
Bono East region. Yes. And say Osha Bono East. East. You were Senate West.
Yes.
East. Peru East. And a Kintampo South. Techiman South. 5th August. And I'm where I report.
Okay, let me just get the right report. Okay, numbers. In fact, it's almost similar to
Ahafo,
yes.
kind of.
But share what we have seen there, and in. So, for example, let's start Peru East. Peru East, NDC candidates, almost 37% of the vote.
NDC candidates,
37%. And MPP candidate Yusuf Apia, 18%. And another candidate, Felix Kwabena Nimako, 26%. And about 20% say undecided. So even though the NDC leads, indications say a bit of a good race because of the independent candidate. But it appears NPP candidate is way behind in Peru East.
Peru East, right.
Over Sene West, NDC candidate Kwame Chumasi Ampofu, 52%.
Okay, Kwame Chumasi Ampofu.
Yes. And MPP Joseph McKay, Kuma about 38%. And 8% say Obatoma another person. 1% undecided. Very likely, say, Senior West is going to go NDC again. Yes. Oshe,
Wow.
Kintampo, very tricky. Kintampo South.
Felicia
G, 29%. Alexander Jan, incumbent MP, over 25%. But 46%
46
undecided.
Hey. Where?
They have
Wow.
they have to go in.
And the 46 way pay experience is what is that this 46 can do? Any magic?
No, they can do a lot because they are huge. Anywhere they go, you collapse. So the first one, what will be kuno?
Asamato.
That's how they behave.
Huh.
But the advantage for Felicia is that she is carrying with her the wind of change. You know? So it's likely said these people would go with the flow.
Will go with the flow.
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
And then the last one, Techiman South.
That's right. Techiman South.
Friends,
8 people were reported shot.
Techiman South.
Techiman South. Okay. Give us the figures.
I think the NDC guys will be shocked.
Because, really? They'll be shocked?
Yeah, because Bayre, NDC candidate. Bayre, around 20%.
Then he's not making any rules. No.
And
then I guess
Mensah Kosa is very strong.
Is making a huge
almost 59%.
Wow.
Of the vote, and 19% undecided. Even if
19%.
What the Omukra can in the NDC a tough race. They have a lot of work to do.
I think Mensah Kosa has done considerably, remarkably well. Techiman South. Yeah. So he's leading by 52.
58, almost 59%, 58.9%.
Hey. And Abahir is making 20%. Oh, no. Watching him. So undecided and cry is saying
19.
What
the camp
so split it cry no.
No, they don't split. The funny nama Bayre no around 39 to 40.
58 against
40. Yeah, in the end it could be around 40 in race. I think Martin Kosa probably has done something magic there.
Yeah.
They have to find out why.
He's been with the people of Techiman South now. Very close.
And another thing I think we found is about 20% of NDC supporters are voting for James Akosa.
Why?
Because of who he is or what he's been doing.
Okay, can we also say the adverse, so it could be the NDC candidates on the ground. Christopher Bayre has a lot of spots he needs to clean his.
Perhaps.
Okay.
Because in fact, only 9% of MPP people are voting for.
I see.
Bayre.
This candidate, yes, and I'm glad, Musa, you are doing this with me tonight. Now, NDC for Bekaya, Christopher Bayre, you're running a story with you. And I said to the NDC, Sir Papa, I'm going to draw another candidate. I'm surprised tonight. Me nim kwanye fast oppose we about, but to say is between Mensah Kosa and Christopher Bayre, the figures are reading explicitly clear that Ebeya Asam Kesiama. Because Papa no why Nime Bebre, I think he was with Minister of Health.
It's not the local government minister.
Sorry?
It's not the local government minister.
Yeah. No, I'm not talking about AFN. I'm talking about Christopher Bayre.
Oh, okay.
Previously, now he was with the Minister of Health. And Nime Bebre, Koswa, corruption, I think he was also spotted in the Auditor General's report of, some corruption. So, me name why, what kind of due diligence the NDC did, and so to be able to put that man on that seat. And we are also, closing up on that consistency so much for some very good reason. Now, Musa, what else do we need to look at? So
these are the 4 AE in the area. But also, in terms of the overall presidential one, Mahama is 56%. These 4 constituencies. Techiman South, Puru East, Sene West, and Akentampo South. Mahama 55.8%.
55.8. Wow.
Baomia 26%. Alan 6.4%. Bediako 8.8%. and others 3%.
And this is constituency ban, no?
Where all the Bono is
All the Bono,
yes,
I
put
see.
Together now, yes.
So then we can say, John Dramani Mahama of NDC issue 2 up there is going for glory in this constituency way.
Yeah, I mean, basically, we share the way I talked about last time.
Yeah.
Mahama around 55% according to Omar Kasai. So in terms of Mahama, the numbers in society. But Baumia are called down because now we have 41% Bono East, according to the people we spoke to. So Oshe maybe Baumia was saying about 26%. So the rest has gone to Alan and Anakwam Bediako.
Wow, we must split it. Now, what could be that of? Is it Alhaji Baumia is not appealing to them? It's not a candidate.
No, this election sometimes it goes beyond the appeal. People are complaining about the economy, so they are voting with their feet. Their pocket.
Quite explosive, though, folks. Yene Musa, Executive Director, Emma Global Info Analytics, and you know, very latest poll. Now, Oshe. 6 regions, constituencies of my Mujumana, Maza, easy. Wow, figures very explosive now. But the constituencies we are so far in the Bono region, there is a Mahama A lead saying 55.8%. All the contestants in there good and say. Yebetimi say John Dramani Mahama is making the waves. Our constituencies way in the Bono region. Wow, this is very frightening. Folks, tonight we're giving you all the very latest and all the markings, and of course we're also doing the permutations, to give you what you can quickly guess ourselves. And Adria says here to about saying and a neoma ebekono any nano acquain who be papa. Now, my name Musa Ebabeko, a year the last regional one more equaye iduma ewoho. Now, folks. I don't know, say menko short break na memra, but quickly menko break. Now, some bibri, mame and share messages be what I say. Quick. Now, let me give a message to Recuse. Who should share biogas expert for home? Biogas expert for no. Mr. Bomodiana Fre, your WhatsApp line no. Name number no amount. Why? And also still Recuse with me. Apeke man quickly na menye friends say mame emfe mouse sia biogas expert for no recuse utie mi a wo monama na 055 589 3001 this is 055 589 3001 ana MC amonfa to so emaye why omo ye one of it. Yes, and that screen is recuse Mr. and then I down. Bomodiana from will be opposite one more a man or more bayama recuse and tea. Minimo area or not just a baby added Nakunam. My mention before many Musa Abemu quick. They say, yeah, but Ashanti region. Assembly see Ashanti region or Assembly, yeah, baby BB so good evening, everyone. Quick one and keep, say, and keep going. We also say vote CPP to power. Fellary and so I'll say I salute you, bro. Watching you live from Atlanta, United States. To also say trust your weekend was fantastic. Keep up with the good work. Yes, Valerie. Bibia Koso, come on. Oba Weza. I'll say Jonas, and I'll say good evening. It has been alleged that there was sharing of 20,000 Ghana cedis at Baumia's meet the press yesterday. Do you know anything about it, Pacho? Me nim hwe fa ho. Na me ni ho bi nso. Me ye me dwuma na enra de ma busy, but we're monitoring the situation. John Bosco say, indeed, Kofi Annan is one of the few credible media people in Ghana now. Are you sure of that? Seda say one thing is clear, but very honest, credible, and clever. He's not government official one. Okay. As that also Baumia has not been investigated by his boss. Okay, also then we also say cheap politics. Can you tell Ghanaians John Mahama is a thief, shameful MPP? Just I have back to back platform no so na mo keka bia. We also say Charles Bruce also Asida Adepa, so you have not given up after your own OSP have given you an uppercut knock. Okay. Messages na my main friend see has na memra Musa so. I'll say, how can Ghanaians be living in a tropical zone of the world and cry for food? All the slides that Dr. Nkrumah built. Are you talking? Oh, silos, sorry. Built has not been turned into, has all been turned into charges building. Where are your dams that paid for? Okay, Recuse say, this is why we are calling for a union government that was initiated for Ghana. We want a democratic union government, same as India. Okay, we have a union government and national agenda. I also suggest is parliamentary elections should be held every 2 years. I'm sure that's what you want to say, to keep our MPs on their toes. And okay, messages, you know, a dosso papa. Now, Yebeba Ashanti region, Abeyadi Oho, and there's very interesting developments in Ashanti region, pretty fascinating, folks. My man Andrew say, good evening, boss. JDM must win this election. I am Abdul, and Ode Ebae. We say, let's all remember that John Mahama was never hit by any global disaster before. If that had happened under Mahama, you can guess what would have happened. The desperation by John Mahama to return to power speaks volumes about his wicked and evil intention. Abba say, how Kumsin Twaso, may Almighty Allah have mercy on us. Mad hungry lion from Kaswan or the Bayo, also the enemy. Good evening, Kweku. Dr. Baumia has no excuse rather than to admit Kennedy Japan advised the NPP to admit that they have disappointed Ghanaians and apologized to Ghanaians. That was why Baumia admitted to the truth. Baumia is the true definition of lies. But Baumia shouldn't forget that fools also grow old. Baumia can fool some Ghanaians all the time. He can fool all Ghanaians for some time, but he can't fool Ghanaians all the time. Allah will save us from this NPP looting charlatans, inshallah. Prince from Tamale, Enode Ebae. Yes, viewers in Tamale, Majonia. We also, I am NS Makpa. Please ask Musa, what about Rinchi? Musa, take notes of that. Will be some. Okay. We also say good evening, Uncle Kweku, and I hope everything is cool at your end. Listening to Baumia during the recent media encounter, it becomes evident that he is not fully in tune with the pressing issues. From his answer on the 2020 electoral violence therein, despite chairing the police council, to the looming lawsuit by pharmaceutical doctors against the government and the worsening hardships across the country, including concerns in the cocoa industry, it is clear that he is not on top of these critical matters. From Daniel Kofi Ajman, Gomwa Kwekuma, and Odifri Ebayam. We shall say, hello, Kweku, good evening. Kweku, can you please send me a biogas company number? Biogas company number. Uya fre number we na yemfema. And also, why ready? Yeah, the two screen is so 555893001. And I'll bet me a fre number we near the amount. Why? But what the other from WhatsApp number fre back near for Emma. We also salam alaikum. NDC manifesto is the best for Ghanaians, but NPP manifesto is Bukata for Ghanaians. Isa from Insawum Zongo. And we also say it is only lazy and super incompetent government that depends solely on the Bank of Ghana for its survival. Where are the so-called men, Musa Tamale and also Eddie Freebaye? Good evening, Mr. Annan. Yesterday during the press meeting, it came clear to me that 50% of Ghanaians, not 50% Ghanaians, rot is being supported by the journalists due to funny statement, question like the media yesterday. Kudos to journalists like you who has Ghana in heart by Sir A.B. Asinfosu and our free Ebaye. We say, good evening, Kweku. Or say, yes, a champion did that. And I also remember also J.J. Rollins introduced food distribution company and gave money and cutlasses to the people who returned from Nigeria in 1983 and other people to grow food. Yeah, Rollins is ye be pa. Umuna sa MPP current MPP NDC unhu di omo pache or say MPP is now useless. Ash Napo pa. I said earlier that this Baumia and Napo would collapse the party, but still they defend their unnecessary acts. Or say inti Ghana penye. Baumia knows theory in economics, but not practical aspect. He's a liar, and Napo has started saying at least Dr. Kwame Nkrumah never chew corn in public. Tell him to learn manners. The Audika in person is quite derogatory. Now we all say good evening, bro. I say, hey, so-called prophet was on Paul Adumoche's show on Friday. He claimed that Dr. Baumia would win 50.9%. Kindly look for him and tell him that he is ignorant about the current situation in Ghana. He should stop lying in a fool's paradise. Ghanaians are too clever to fall for this kind of deceit. I'm Jane Baptist, is it something from Tema, Newtown? Sorry, I said the rest of the name in Timiambo. Now, I make last one. Prince O. Achiao Kumasi, the MPP only trusted manifesto is the Ejapadia book. Great folks, Mami Fensi and Amemra. Afi Yebura, Ashanti region. Saying ena global info analytic for Womusira Ashanti region, and then they see Ashanti region. Now listen, I'll say. Second opinion poll carried out in Ashanti region for the 2024 election shows Dr. Baumia leading in the region with 65%, John Dramani Mahama on 24%, Alan Shamantin 9%, Nana Kwabe Bidiakon 1%, and the rest of the candidates 1%. Compared to the July 4th poll, which was conducted days after Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh was unannounced as the running mate for Dr. Baumia, which showed DMB on 73%, JDM on 15%, AKK on 9%, NKB on 2%, and the rest on 1%. The new poll point to lost momentum in the region as DMB dropped 7.6% and Nana Bediakom 1.3%. JDM gains in the poll came from DMB and Nana Bediakom. On comparative basis, 73% of voters in 2020 voted for Nana and all of that. Now, let me leave this to Musa to give us a clear understanding. Musa, what are we reading?
Yeah, Ashanti region is getting very interesting.
Very interesting, isn't it?
From polling perspective. One thing about polls is that the regular you go there, the better you understand what is happening there. It's not good enough just go there once and leave the place. It doesn't give you the true picture.
A clear picture of the situation.
See, I think almost letting Napo, and then when I had to inaugurate, and a call of just the first.
Tell me, you're inaugurating,
Yes, in fact, we went
prior
there,
to.
I think we went there just after inauguration of Napo and nomination. I can't remember exactly what time. In today, Percy who said, Oma nominating Napo will have a big impact on MPP numbers no one.
I see.
Because almost say if they win big in Ashanti region, it means they will win the election.
Exactly.
So as a poster, you don't want to be taken by surprise.
That's right.
You want to know what is going on at every point in time. So you call that time.
Okay.
You call you amount for feedback.
Okay.
As to what they want to do. At the time, I think now GM 15%.
Great. Now let's emphasize a point there. What Musa is saying, not just say it was around the time and Babe inaugurated the running mate, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh. It's a lesson and listen carefully because Ashanti region is beginning to shake up. Trust me, folks. Yeah, Musa.
So Then Baumia was on 73%.
Baumia?
Yes.
73%. Okay.
And Alan was 9%. Bediako 2%.
I see.
And Omama Kano 1%. So on that score, no, they were almost doing the same level of vote as 2020 elections at that point.
Yeah.
Until after a month, and it's not quite a biome. Your core, you know, the story was a bit different. In the sense that
no, sir, after a month, you know, now Napo has been inaugurated.
And
yes,
he's gone to the ground, he's
Okay.
made some moves, he's gone around and all sort of things. And remember, post Kwame Nkrumah comment,
That's right.
so that really drew a bit of sharp criticism across the country. So your core back, you know, you could see the effect of that recent years. So the signs were, for example,
Wow.
Ibisa almost said, will the nomination of Napo make it more likely for them to vote for MPP and just to see whether
In the Ashanti region.
the Ashanti region. In the first poll, no, not almost say yes, no, 62%.
62%.
Say yes.
Okay.
Napunti, they're likely going to vote for MPP in the region. But 21 say no, it's not likely to influence them. And 17% say only a neutral, neither likely or unlikely.
Neutral.
Neutral, 17% at that time.
Okay.
Your call second time, no. Now, almost say likely, no, a drop from 62 to 58%.
Hey.
It means its effect begins to wane.
Let us say, Kasana Napo Kasana.
I think
yes. Chances
I
on the
think
ground.
it did some damage. And now, almost say unlikely, no. I shoot up from 21% to 29%.
Repeat that again.
Almost say Napo's nomination is unlikely to influence them, no. I shoot up from 21 to 29%.
29%.
Yes, about 8% increase.
8% adding up.
Yes. So this is a very early warning, sir. Then the number they will get could decline. Into Oba,
Ashanti
region. Oba, in fact, before we get to the other point, who is the best ever president?
Who is ever best
ever president in Ghana? And Akufo was top.
Kufuor top here?
Yes, it was Ashanti region.
Wow.
So on that note, you see, Napo was correct. Ashanti region, Kwame Nkrumah cannot be compared to Napo, to Kufuor.
Like seriously?
Oh, yeah, that's what people said, yes. And that's their view. We're bearing the view. You can't force everybody to say,
this is shocking, eh?
No, it's not shocking. It's not shocking.
That's not what you need here.
No, but people have a way of assessing individuals.
Okay, I can understand why, because there's a history, there's an antecedent of the Ashantis and their way of looking at.
Nkrumah was second. And third, Nanado.
I see.
And then you have fourth, Gerald Rawlings. And then Atta Mills, fifth. Mahama, sixth, about 13%. So it's like that, yes. So and you will be and believe that Kwame Nkrumah is the best. People, but probably across the country, you could have a majority of people saying Kwame Nkrumah is the best.
I see. So now, in terms of polling, between MPP and NDC, if we have to zero down to this, who among the two, and are all making striking marks in Ashanti region as of the last poll?
So the last poll, John Mahama was on 23.7%.
23.7% in Ashanti region.
Remember, before that, now 15%. So Wakosoro 8.7% between the two polling period.
In Ashanti region.
Now. And Baumia has come down from 73 to 65.4, down about 7.6%, or 8 points. And then Alan remained the same, largely 9.2.
9.2,
no, or 9% before, 9.2.
And
Bediako dropped from 2% to 0.7%. Bediako numbers dropped, and then Baumia numbers dropped. It went to John Mahama in that period.
Folks, this is very, very striking. Pretty fascinating. I mean, I don't know, but say MPP for no more share program, more share the equity, the equity. Naturally, say, is it there's this strange dichotomy I'm trying to make a sense of it. Say, if again, Musa, listen to this and see where you get me an answer. Just say, if Napo makes a comment such as a quote, Mokwame Nkrumah, and that infuriates people on the ground about the fact that yes, one can say but then again, the same Ashantis are also saying, say, the best president, Kufuor. So they have a certain dislike for the Kwame Nkrumah.
No, but so I don't think they like the way Napo said it.
Oh.
Sometimes you can say somebody is the best without looking disrespectful. That's how.
So that's the operative word. Omuadie, any that kind of.
No, I mean, I don't want to go into that kind of. But from that comment, no.
That's right.
People took it as if say a bit derogatory. You could have said, in my view, Kwame Nkrumah, this person is the best president.
Yeah.
Not Kwame Nkrumah. Yeah. And I don't think there will be any brouhaha because the polls in Ashanti region show say yes, for Ashanti region, Kufuor is the best, and that's the fact there.
Yeah. So, instead, say, inauguration of Napono should shoot their numbers up to resonate a certain direction, rather drop it.
Yes, I mean, you know from different angles. There were positives and negatives, but I think the negatives outweigh the positive. Oshe omwa omuye MPP for omutuma baomia. Within that period, no, that number went up by 2 points.
Okay.
2 points. So now you have about 2 points, and then but omuye floating voters no. A say MPP so far because
floating voters they assemble
Baumia topo almost 17 points among floating voters in Ashanti region. And Mahama equals about 6 points. And Alan equals 13 points in Ashanti. So these were the movement that equals dramatic shift in Baumia's numbers from 73 to 65.4%.
So we can say in Ashanti region tonight, the National Democratic Congress led by John Dramani Mahama is making an inroads. I mean, the permutations
you see, from the data, he's more or less in the same position as he was in the last election.
The trajectory hasn't changed.
Hasn't changed. It is Baumia who has suffered because of Alan and Bediako in the race.
Exactly. Then I'm now getting the point.
Yes, because Mahama is doing 23.7%. Last time only 24 point something, so slightly within the same range. But Baumia will drop from 72 Nado or Nado last time to around 65. So that is where the problem is, and those numbers echo Alan Chermating and Anakwam Bediakunche. And so that is the problem of MPP. It is the Alan and Cheddar effect. That is what is depriving them of that numbers they were looking for.
Asemi Obi who can say, Charlie, Alan are dropping out of the MPP is really going to be a blow to the MPP in many constituencies, regional capitals, and of course, this snowball effect is beginning to yield some phenomenon striking, and that's very, very serious. That MPP would have to look into the space. If they have the magic ball and they will look at it or the magic wall and begin to do the arithmetics and striking. Now, Musa, looking at your figures, if the NPP, of course, this being their World Bank, I had no free challenge. There's no area baby or meko. Enemy adio. If you are to diagnose between now and say the month of a year, say November, can the MPP do some magics there? Still, with the running mate factor, the common denominator is the running mate.
I think
and
they are
kind of
look. So long as Alan is in the race, so long as Alan is in the race, as for Bediako, we can maybe discount his numbers because numbers have dropped.
Okay.
But Alan is the significant threat
To the MPP in Ashanti region.
Absolutely. Ashanti region and one region, both him and Bediako are biggest threat as well.
What about Western region?
Western region, in fact, we are currently in the Western region doing some polls there. And the initial figures we've seen have shown, say, he's going up. He Alan and Nana Kwamedo, they are showing up quite stronger
so
than...
they are neck to neck in raising, kind of.
No, I can't say. I haven't got the figures yet. Okay. But they are doing a lot better than they used to. And that number is coming from MPP numbers. The same effect, because wherever MPP is strong, Bediako and Alan are taken from the same pot. NDC is not divided. NDC people are voting one way.
I see.
And they're also getting the help of floating voters. But the MPP guys are fragmented.
The word, fragmented. This is quite very, very striking. Musa, what else do we have to know in Ashanti region before I let you go?
We are starting another poll on Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
We are tracking the poll in Ashanti region. So by next week, Monday, we will see the current state of Ashanti region compared to the last time we went there. And the same week, we will release the Western region as well.
Okay.
Western region, 5 of the key constituencies in the central region. Western region.
Okay.
Takrady, Sekendi, Kwesimintim, Efia, and Isikado Keta.
I'm interested in Western region. Kwesimintim and Isikado.
Isikado Keta.
Yeah. Ejapamesa constituency near
Sekendi.
Very, very interesting consistency. Very interesting power. Yeah. Okay, great. So what do we need to know more in Ashanti region?
I think Ashanti region will be, it will not be easy for them to achieve the 85% or 80%. Yes.
Folks, I don't know if you've done it, the race is getting tough and tougher for SMP. Now, Musa, before you go, my last post, before elections.
Yeah, release program today. The next polls, beside Western region, Ashanti region, currently we are doing national telephone tracking poll. Yani amount for a telephone so across the country. That one out, I think, towards second week of September.
Any nationwide?
Nationwide by telephone. Your amount for numbers I know to see their views.
Really?
And no, the preview of October. October. October no boot on the ground.
Okay. Men in the booth.
More men on the ground, not on telephone. Until October they will come back and look at it and report. November no, fa boot unko. Telephone again. Now the telephone no compare boot near the projections for December.
Oh, into the poll.
Yes.
Wow. That's quite a power. Great. Folks, into Musa Dankwa Abemaya, all the breakdowns, the permutations na yashini na folks, mwana munjaji mamo. Now, Yankupon Yadma on Wednesday, Yeni Musa Ebabe discuss it, the remaining, that will be Ablikuma. Central, Wager, Bawe constituency. Then we'll look at Bono East, and then we'll look at Eastern region, we'll look at Northern region. I'm very much interested in what is happening in the Northern region because there's a very funny campaign being caused our Northern region. I'm perceiving say post at the Northern region. Still, the focal point or the sharp focus will be on NDC and MPP, and they said more performance. Well, folks, wouldn't mean if you didn't do a BSA. Now we are also going along with a global info analytics for, of course, here in UK. No, said on post and they've never gotten it wrong. This is why I trust my brother Musa. Any permutations normally have to Nigeria. This is pretty fascinating, and I'm sure, sir, the political parties in Nagasanso are also watching the space, engaging how the space is going. Musa, you better was and then we'll touch base with you on Wednesday. Then we'll look at the rest of the region. Great. And we'll let Musa off the hook. Nafi, you're making kind of messages, and then we just make folks. I critical, MPP. See, I said here can. wo share breaking news here ye dey ato for me a asem ye hu ka kire mo ye hu kan yo opoku asem wo koka wa Ashanti region yae no ho bibi ho wow my main share message so say hello Kweku I'm appalled by Ghanaians' food insecurity crisis. Citizens' indifferences and leaders' negligence are unacceptable. Where are the true defenders of Ghana? Better, both MPP and NDC have failed us. Let's break the cycle of bad governance by voting for an independent presidential candidate who prioritize the nation's well-being. No more politics as usual. Echo Thomas from Tema Community 4 no debay. Or see, good evening, Kweku. More fire. The NPP may try hard to cover the airwaves so that the NDC may not be heard. What a wicked group of people ruling us. Togbe Awoku 11. Dansuma now. Say, please, is Baumia and group living in? We are living in a country as a refugees. The cost of living is like a being in hell. No. Kweku, good evening. This elections is done deal for JDM. Looking at the self-inflicted hardship bestowed on us is unprecedented. The corruption, ineptitude, arrogance, and unbridled disrespect displayed by this administration is mind-boggling. They have looted all our resources and stashed same in their bedrooms, turn into banks. God's willing, we would relegate these corrupt government behind us because the cascading effect is hard to bear. PK, Kaswa, and Odifri Ebaim. Good evening, Kweku. Continue with the good work. Cause we want people like you to keep us informed. I am Na Aducho from Choco, Santana. Please tell the authorities our roads are very bad. We beg them to come fix it. Right. Okay. Let me show you. I'll say, hi, good evening, my brother. It's me, Bernard, a.k.a. Pope. This MPP people, they haven't seen anything yet in Kumasi. Okay. As the nursing trainees, student told Vice President that they haven't been paid the allowance. He promised to pay nursing trainees allowance to the badges, and the government owes, and he owed the trainees who finished last year 15 months, which 6,000 cedis, which he didn't pay them a dime. And when finished training colleges, nurses are doing their rotation, i.e. 1 year service, are not being paid till you finish. That is 1 year. Who works without pay? It is so pathetic. Our promise, our promise paid allowance, no. Our service allowance, salary, no. Why? Ghana government. Papa. We all say, I will be surprised if Baumia gets 35% on December 7. Thanks for the good work, bro. Good evening, Kweku. Can you please ask Musa to on Ablekuma West in the Greater Accra? We are watching live from Dansuman Estate. Now, we have Ablekuma Central, wager, but I'm sure say be draw. But let's see Wednesday. So gauge the space Wednesday if it's going to be possible for. We'll say, hi, host. The polls are interesting. Many of us are still wondering why people are still going around campaigning to vote for NPP again. Same people would go to the markets and at workplaces be complaining. This are hard. Things are hard. Okay. What at all is wrong with some people of us? Francis Accra, NOD, Efri, Ebae. My main kind last will say, hello, Kweku. I'll say, I disagree with your praise for the Vice President's media meeting performance. Good governance needs tangible results, not just words. He failed to address food insecurity, corruption, and economic struggles. We need action, not rhetoric. We need a better Ghana. Echo Thomas. Okay. Oh, that's your view, is it not? Inti ohono said the American ewo hono. Inti and also Odian. my member online is near radiation. Yanre the course everywhere. Folks, but time no cross on. Somebody must see here. I. John Ken or say Akufo-Addo can never be trusted and better than Rawlings and Professor Mills. Or say you are always on point, bro. Someone are not just say Ghanaian journalist is the biggest problem in Ghana. Honestly, no. We are say first time Baumia has been honest. Ghana was heading towards Sri Lanka economic merit down, meltdown. Yes. Or to us was him. No. Okay. And some people, Nana Bola, so say, resting Ghana, let us all be upstanding, not bystanders. And all can folks, somebody musia. Yankopon Adama Wednesday, yeah, but the 3 remaining, Inti Moa Ablikuma, Central, Wager, Bawi, Bono East, and then Eastern region, Northern region, butu. We have all the answers for you. Sembe bro. Folks, this has been the front line with Kwekwanan, and of course the great guy Semame Chidomno, Ruby X is up there, and of course Bestmark Echo on also Emame Push Up, and then the online editor Kens is up there, indefatigable man himself. Executive producer Yao Yamba is out there, and then the second indefatigable man, Credible, who just returned, of course, after short illness, and he's back on duty. Great guys, Emma, me support ma between the show and the bro. It was here, Yankopon ya duma. Shannon so say in the coming month, in the month of October, October month, the Frontline show would go out front in its latest review of the Japadia document. And we are entreating listeners and viewers to gauge the space in the coming months. The review of Japadia, Yatunidi, Japadia decide, Emube Papa, yet the 1 month in the bear review, 1 solid month, and the bears are reviewing. The sense a Nyoma young Kavana, Massa, a Zempi. Bidimusi and Yamiadma about Wapium, Shannon so. Frontline program where I'm in my Uko YouTube wa edaho ko na san ko hwebium na wasoma uniebi na uniebi susu enhwe wate mesra okwa subscribe your link no my CTV we no subscribe and become a subscriber send be ye program bia na uri efi hu kra na obetimi adan akai na wetimi akwa akohwema niam na did na kwem. My name still remain Kwekwanan, your investigative journalist. Same time Wednesday I come your way. Folks, stay out of trouble. The month is going gradually, and Chakra 7 December. NPP, Ashanti region, the capital, Kumasi, Yemu base, all is not well there. Meaning, but I'm sure someone will name some of Homa Ashanti region, it may fall to more fingertips. At the same time, I come your way Wednesday. Have a good night.
CTV,